Vanessa Andrade. I am 19 and I am from Oklahoma. Was Spanish your first language? Spanish was my first language.
My name is Karina. I'm originally from Chile, so Spanish was my first language, and I spoke nothing but Spanish until I moved here to the States when I was almost 8 years old.
I learned English in school, so when I started going to pre-K. I don't remember English being hard or even confusing. The thing that I can remember the best is being confused when other people didn't understand, because I would mix English and Spanish a lot.
First, it was frustrating just because I like to talk to people, I like to get to know them, but the language barrier was definitely there, and being only like 8 years old, that's huge. That's when you want to make friends. So I would say it was a little difficult, but it wasn't the end of the world at the same time. School was definitely tough at first, but as I got older, I never really had an accent because I learned it at such a young age, so people didn't automatically just assume that I spoke Spanish. It became more something that was like a fun fact when people would want to know how to say something, or I would need to translate in certain situations. But overall, once I got to like middle school, high school, it didn't really get in the way. It was something that helped me more than really set me back.
School was good. I grew up in Oklahoma. There weren't a lot of people here that I can remember when I was younger who spoke Spanish. It was mostly just my family, and so in school it was difficult because there were people who didn't understand just this whole other side of who I was, and so that was difficult for me in school, but it was something that I was able to overcome as I got older. So I was taught English. I mean, it was a class, like the English class, and I started taking Spanish as an elective class from my 6th grade year in middle school all the way up to my senior year in high school.
In school in Chile, we were taught some very, very basic English, just hi, how are you, some animals, some colors, things like that, but we were taught both. And then once I moved here, I didn't really get any Spanish, obviously, till I got to high school age when we started trying out different languages. But overall, it was just, the switch was flipped straight to English.
Being able to speak 2 languages has been something that has brought more value to my life and has challenged me in more ways than I can really even count.
Being bilingual has definitely helped me in my life in a lot of different aspects, whether it's school, whether it's my job or missions work. It's really opened up a lot of doors. My favorite thing about being bilingual is just the bridges that it builds. I love that there's someone that it could seem like there's a barrier, and then you realize, oh, we speak the same language. You automatically have something in common, and that really opens up so many doors for them to get to know you and for you to get to know them, and I absolutely love that.
I think my favorite thing about being bilingual is being able to go back and forth in both languages, and so it's something that's referred to a lot as Spanglish, and I think it's what comes most easily to me. I can just talk and let it, and like I don't have to think about it. If I forget one word in one language, it's fine, I know it in the other one. That's probably my favorite thing about being bilingual, is being able to express myself in more ways than just one. I feel like Spanish is a language that is just becoming so needed, just because we have so many people from so many different countries, not just Mexico, but all over Latin America and even Spain, who speak Spanish and they don't know English, and so therefore there is no other way for them to communicate. And so I think that being able to speak English in the United States of America is something that is important, but just as much to be able to offer a helping hand and to be able to help those people who are just starting their lives here be able to be understood and feel welcomed. And yeah, so I think that if we started that out early in school, teaching students a second language, not only would it benefit, I believe, our society and our country as a whole, but I think it would benefit each of us individually.
I definitely plan to teach my daughter Spanish. It's really important to me. I'm Chilean and my husband's American, so I really hope to have an atmosphere in our home where we can have Spanish be spoken. I think it's really important for her to start learning at a super young age, even younger than when I started learning English, because then her Spanish will be more fluid. I do hope that I'm able to homeschool her in the future, so that'll make it a little bit different than how I was raised. She'll hopefully be able to be taught in both languages, which I think will make it a little easier to learn. I just think it's really important for her, and a part of her identity that is her culture, to know and understand that she's in a mixed family, and to really learn the differences in between the cultures and how those differences can be for good things, and sometimes they can be shortcomings, but to take all those things and put them into what makes her her. And I want to put her in this environment where she's free to explore that, and she can learn from both, and even just pick what she wants to keep and live out in her life.